everyone, and welcome to the Wheel and Chill Show.
So funny, I was like super empowered. I don't think I could sleep.
Still follows the same rules, has the same characters and all that stuff,
Yes.
but it just tweaks it a little bit.
You're reading fantasy, and it's so grounded. It's so completely grounded in reality.
Rule clarification, if we both get it wrong, do we get bonus points?
Soldier Simmons, it is my pleasure to now pin you, raising you from the rank of soldier to dedicated.
That didn't happen in the books, but it was awesome.
I nailed it.
I nailed that.
I nailed it. Let me bring you comfort about Egwene. I know you haven't seen her in a month, but let me tell you this story about how badass she is right now.
That fight scene, my boy went through 5 daggers.
Everybody's flower is different. I think we learned that in the books. This is I think for me, top 5 moments ever on screen.
When I read it, I felt empowered. I felt called to action.
One of the best quotes in the whole series is when Gaul says, "Do you like to dance, Baron Abara?"
The Knights Who Say Chill,
AKA the band of really, really nice good guys.
Let a couple more drink on.
You're saying everywhere.
I am.
Do you have a chaser should you need it?
Can I have a little bit of mine too? Yo, this is good.
Young people do like this now or something instead of this.
Oh, it's like this. The heart emoji. Don't jiggle.
It folds. I like the way you wiggle.
You
Oh,
wiggle.
show. We're going to review the entirety of season 1 of the Wheel of Time. The whole thing. The finale of Rings of Power. Welcome to the Wheel and Chill Show!
Welcome to the Will and Chill Show.
Yay!
We are the Knights Who Say Chill, aka
The band of really, really nice good guys.
and tonight we have the Codex.
The band of really, really
Sunset
nice good
Wizard.
guys.
We have a little bit of lag, so that'll be fun tonight. I'm Winespring. You can find me on Exit Winespring Cafe, and I'm playing Beaks and Owlin Rogue, Secret Princess. And next, I'd like
Not that
Peril to just
secret.
go and introduce yourself, and we just go around.
Okay. I am Peril, aka Jessica Sedai, aka Jessica Squeedeye, and I am playing Peril, who is a Goliath barbarian, and that's all you really need to know about her.
Hi, I'm Tavern, and I'm playing Treon. He is a wood folk, and he is a druid.
Hi, I'm Roof Mistress Leia, and I'm playing Nicarlis. She's a satyr. Everybody thought she was just a bard, but I think they started realizing last time that she's got something else going on with her. So
Yeah, she's the
let's
devil.
see if people figure that out today.
Little devil satire.
Hi, I am Dana Luhu or Zool, and I am playing Oriana Hope, who is a tiefling cleric.
Okay.
Yay.
Great. And I am Random Noman or DM Daniel, whichever way you want to call me. That's fine with me. And I get to play D&D and run a campaign with these awesome nerds. And it has been a long time, but we are finally back. So, yeah, I'm excited. Got some fun stuff planned tonight. Might be a little different, but you guys are used to me being a little different. So hopefully you bear with me. I'll just jump right in. Tavern's like, oh, what does that mean?
I'm not mentally ready for you, sir.
That's fair. I take that as a compliment. So let's do a quick recap since it's been a bit since we played. The group met at the top of an office building for a gnomish water plant at the base of the Queen Lake, and combined together traveled to the bottom of the elevator shaft through 7 levels, found that the white demon lord, she identifies as female, so I'll call her demon lady for lack of better terms. I think it's Orzad. I can't remember which one I did.
Just once I'd like to meet a demon madame, but
Talvadis?
maybe not.
Was it
Talvadis? Yeah, Talvadis, the painful. Yeah, she's the one. She's the white one of pain. her color was white for the dragon. For the dragon head was the white dragon. So she was involved and had corrupted her minions had corrupted the connection to the elemental plane of water that was feeding the Queen's Lake that the Bip Corp had done hundreds of years ago and left behind. It had since been taken over by this corruption and was feeding through pain and corruption some kind of ritual that you guys broke at the 7th level and cleared the rune off the wall, the sigil that was used with blood from various clerics and various BepCorp employees that had come through. And you had restored the balance of the connection to the plane of water. And behind that wall, you found Aeldrisar the Knowing, which was an amethyst dragon who is the original queen of the Queen's Lake. And she told her story to you guys.
Ooh.
And out of appreciation, she gave you each a boon and a gift of knowledge. So each of you asked a question and she provided some answers. And one of you had asked, oh my gosh, I completely forgot. And we got to figure out how to do this, Dana Lou, because your request got answered. And we have to figure out how to do that real quick. So we're going to come back around to that and see how to do that the best way. Various ones of you had asked kind of personal questions, but one person asked how to get to a way to get to the plane of hell to rescue Saphandria, your lost companion of the group. So she did provide an answer to that to go to the west to the Dinoran Republic. Go to the library there of Theodomia, the goddess of magic, knowledge, and forge. And there's a codex of the Sunset Wizard. And in that, there will be
would you repeat that back into your mic, please? The what library?
The library at Rael in the Dinoran Republic. There is a great library to Theodomia, which is your goddess of magic, knowledge, and forge. All of the great temples of Theodomia, which was Theodomia, which was Winespring's creation in our pantheon. Each one of those is a temple, is a pyramid, and there's great temples around the world. And one of those is in Rael. And you are to look for the Codex of the Sunset Wizard, and she gave some descriptions of that. So, and then Carlos, you got an answer for. You got half of the true name for somebody in your background that will help you in your endeavors, what you're searching for. Winespring, you got a description of a magic item that you can search out, which is going to be kind of a crown that will give you resistance to psychic damage and also advantage on saves against charm. And then Peril, you also got information on how to turn your axe into a Fiend Bane, which is basically like it'll do extra damage against fiends. That isn't anything we're going to do right away, but those are some pieces that we can work out when we're going to. I can get to that information. We can work that into the story. Like those will kind of be quest items that you'll be looking for and methods to do. But we can talk about that offhand. Or off camera and things like that. And then Oriana, you asked about how to get to Saphandria, and then Treyon, you asked about where your next step on your trial was going to be. And we stopped there, and you guys got a long rest as you rested with the amethyst dragon. She created a hero, not a hero's feast, because that would give you advantage. I'm not going to give you magical bonuses for that, but she basically created food and water, and had a dinner's table there with you, just where you had a feast, and you could have all that. So we will pick up the next morning, unless there's any questions or anything you guys want to talk about first. I do have one thing I wanted to go over, but go ahead, Dana Lou.
At some point, will I get an answer from Saphandria to my message?
That is actually I did send a message to Critter and asked her to respond.
Okay.
So I want to figure out how to do that. Would I be able to share my Discord screen and do that? Do you guys know if I'd be able to do that? Because it's a video.
You should be able to. Yeah.
Or should I send it to Peril?
Hold on. Let me see.
Can guests share?
I'm trying it
share the
now. I'm not
screen
going to
with
share
that.
it, but it's. Hold on.
Well, you share other screens?
Yeah, I think you can.
Yeah, it looks like you can.
Okay.
Yep.
Let me see what I can do here and see if I can get that.
Don't forget to share the audio too, but
Yes, thank you,
That was so cute.
Beb. I
That
gotta
just
find
means
this. This is
bad, evil, baddie. Beb.
and
nice mug flex there, Beaks.
Oh yeah, held it up just high enough.
Oh look!
You're
it's a
always
Chinese-
you're always in the shot. You're so good at it.
She is the queen of props.
Yes.
I like props.
Hi, Charlie. Looking good over there, buddy.
okay,
No,
so
but
you want me to?
Wanted to share
I
your
think so.
screen.
Okay, I should have brought this up. I apologize, guys.
No, you're good.
DMing's hard. We forgive you.
Especially when you do it online.
Yeah.
I DM'd once back in the Great Campaign.
Back in the
Then I
1900s.
took a D20 to the knee, and I've never been the same.
Oh my gosh.
So now I'm just a tavern.
Okay. Can we see that?
We can't see Jack.
I think Jess has to add it to the screen.
Oh, there we go.
There you
There
go.
we go.
Ooh, is this a critter video?
This is a critter video, so let's see if it works. So to tell the story, Dana Lou stepped aside, did sending to try to get a message, and we did find out it went across planes. There was a chance it wouldn't work, but it seems like it did because you do get a response back within moments after sending that. And then let's see if this works.
I am alive. Not fun here. Danger. Be careful. I miss you. I hope to see you soon. Knights who say chill for life.
I'm gonna throw up. That was terrible.
That was terrible.
She did such a good job.
My heart broke a little bit.
Oh no.
When she said that, and I was like, well, I'm not crying. Okay.
Oh my god.
And then Carlos
Oh,
is like, what?
yeah.
Oh yeah, I have no idea. Well, you guys have mentioned her, I feel like, before. And you did mention, because you've mentioned Graham and you've mentioned Saphandria, and you told me the story, like you basically told me a quick story about them. So like I'm aware, not emotionally invested, because I'm barely emotionally invested in you guys. So
Rude.
But we're like half
Rude.
friends. You said that we were like
half
half
friends. Yeah, pseudo friends. Mhm.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
mean,
one.
like she'll stay and fight with you unless she wants to run away. Kind of friends.
It's true.
It's a half a friend.
Yeah.
Have a friend.
I agree. I love it. It's
But
my
aren't there like
favorite.
multiple
Okay.
of you?
So, Dana Lou, we're going to hand this off to you. You got that message back, and go ahead.
You're
We
muted.
can't hear you.
You're muted.
We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can see she's
Can you
like
hear me now?
all going off.
Yeah, we're good.
So, yeah. So that night in the dragon's den, when we've all eaten, we've all kind of you're relaxed a little bit there. I'm gonna let everybody know that the night before, I had sent off a message to Saphandria, and I'm going to tell them exactly what she said, and again thank the dragon for her information in helping us in our quest to get to her, because she is waiting for us. She's alive. It's not fun. It's very dangerous, but Ah, Knights Who Say Chill for life. We have to get her back. That's it.
Okay. So the other thing I wanted to talk about as we step into this is I brought this up at the end. I brought this up a couple times, and as something I wanted to try in this one, and as you get to 10th level, there is a difference in power level in D&D. Often, once you get into the 10th level, there is kind of a jump in power. And the way I'm going to represent that in the realm of Ilor is realm names, and this is something I want to try out with you guys. And so the concept basically is that you start to develop a name or a reputation, but it almost has a mystical level to it that people suddenly know who you are. Maybe not exactly who you are, but they know of your deeds and they know of you in a general sense. And that comes to the name of a realm name. And if you don't start to specifically move yourself towards a specific realm name, the realm kind of picks one for you. And so as it goes right now, you guys start to wake up the next day and you kind of have this feeling. It's hard to describe, but you have this feeling of you're connecting to the realm in a more powerful way. And I'm going to do this kind of like Jordan does with images, where it's not really a word or spoken to you, but you start to connect in a way. So we're going to start with Peril. The realm is starting to see you in your anger and your focus on removing fiends, and you are moving towards this concept of this anger. You feel this anger, and in the feeling when you kill devils and demons and banishing them from this realm, and the balance that you're bringing back to it. It's not all anger, but there is anger there. It's starting to see you as what you would call fiend bane. Do you lean into that, or do you fight it?
Really? Is that a question you're asking, Peril?
You have your choice.
Sorry.
I as Peril, I am cleaning and sharpening my axe, and I absolutely would lean into it, and I would think to myself that it's time. If not now, if not for our friends, then who is it for? What is all of this skill, all of this combat knowledge? What is it for, if not for the people I care about?
Who would like to go next?
I'm super curious.
Everybody's afraid.
Okay. Nicarlis.
I'm like nervous and excited.
Nicarlis, as you start to wake up, you start to have the same kind of concept, and you find yourself walking on the cliffs of the Fey realm, and you recognize these cliffs from your background, and you see a basalt castle on the edge of it, like a black basalt, like rising off the edge, and the waves are coming in and crashing, and it's crashing high enough that they're hitting the sides of this castle. And you walk in, and everything starts to get colder and colder, and you see the fog. Your breath starts to fog. The walls aren't ice or anything, but there's something in here that's cold. And you walk around a corner, and you see a beautiful woman encased in ice. And you feel that same cold, and you suddenly realize that it wasn't the outside that was feeling cold; it was your heart that was feeling cold.
I know where this is going. I knew this was going to happen.
The realm wants to call, and the realm is calling you Iceheart.
Yes, totally leaning into it.
Okay.
Even though it sounds really bad, nobody else understands.
Nobody else understands, but you will be known as Iceheart. And this isn't going to be right away, but you'll start to see this as things happen. So it's not like the next neighbor's like, "Hey, Iceheart, how's it going?"
Stab them with ice daggers.
Beaks, you were walking around the cave quite a bit. As an owl, and just as kind of your personality, you probably stay up a little later than everybody. It feels to me like you're probably more of a night owl or nocturnal, however we want to say it. And I think you sometimes find yourself just kind of not sleeping as long as everybody, or sleeping intermittently. Like you'll get up and just kind of, you get lost kind of in your thoughts. And you start to think back all the times that you've helped other people. and the look in their eyes when, as you haven't always been royal in the way you carry yourself, but you've been a servant to your people, and you recognize that leadership isn't just telling people what to do, it's showing them what to do. And the look in the eyes that you really appreciate and what brings you strength is when you see hope is inspired or kindled. And the realm shows you several examples of that in kind of in your mind. And your name that the realm wants to give you is Ember Hope. All one word.
I thought you were going somewhere different with that. I like Ember Hope so much better than what I came up with.
Ember Hope, all one word, is perfect. Beaks loves it.
You were like, you're having problems sleeping. And I was thinking, if he calls her insomnia, I'm going to lose my brain.
Much better.
Ember Hope is amazing.
Treon, you don't sleep either, but you stay. You have your stasis position that you kind of get into, and you still see things around you, but it kind of mixes into almost like an elven trance, where you see things around you, but you spend a lot of the time almost like a tree memory, where the things that you've experienced, and you can go back and you can have that long-term history that normal creatures don't have, because you share that concept with the tree. And you go back to the verdancy, and you have memories of that and positive memories. And again, you kind of treat yourself as a guardian of that realm and the people around you. And this concept that guarding people is important, but also discovery is important. And you find yourself remembering all those times that you didn't need to be around people to do your job. And so sometimes you walked further away than everybody else did. Sometimes you took the path less traveled, and you're remembering that there were times in the verdancy that you would walk days without seeing anybody else because you wanted to see what was out there. And then you remember the first step outside of the verdancy, as you stepped out into the city that was flying in the sky, and what happened. And it was such an powerful moment because you were the first one. And then you were the first one of your kind to step on the surface of Ilor. And you take pride in that, in leading your people into new realms, into new possibilities. And the realm leans into you and says, First Walker.
Nope, I like it.
Because
of
where you go.
They don't have, okay, just a history check. They don't have treants in Elor?
They do.
Okay.
They do, but as a species, you wouldn't be. You'd be similar to them, but not really, because you're mystically created, where they are more of a natural. Yeah. Daedalus, talking to Oriana. Oriana, you're shaken up with getting this message back from Saphandria, obviously. You spend a lot of time just in kind of silent meditation and prayer to your God. And you always feel a connection to your God. I mean, that's normal because you're a cleric. But for right now, for some reason, as you're sitting there, that light is important to you. Like all these times that light is a symbol for your God. And the times that you have given light when people need it, when people are in fear or in danger, or just the concept of a light is helpful sometimes. It's important to people to give them security and to make them feel better, like a child that needs a nightlight or something like that. Even as an adult, a nightlight is powerful for us. Holding the darkness back is an important role as well. And you start to feel that the realm leans into you and gives you these images, and you feel the connection to sheltering light.
I like it.
Okay. So everybody wakes up the next morning kind of in their own path, in their own way, but you feel a little different, a little bit more connected to the realm now. Okay, so we'll jump into the next morning. What does everybody want to do?
Well, I'm sleeping in still, per usual.
That was a hard night.
So, Peril, are you up?
Yes, I would have gotten up at dawn to do sword forms.
Excellent. Okay, so as much as I would love to see, Queen's Lake and everything above us, I'm feeling kind of anxious to go do what we need to do to get to Saphandria. And since we have to go out west to do that, can we use your brooch or whatever that is to travel quickly
Yes.
out to the coast?
Yes, we can get back to the Silverhammer. That was the home base that we saved into it. So we could use that to get to the coast and then continue our travels onward from there. I agree with you that I think that it's imperative that we go and find our way to save Saphandria. I think that we should talk to everybody. I'm sure Beaks feels the same way, but I don't know how much Treon and Carlos know at this point, and make sure that they're on board.
Okay.
Treon, you were going to say something?
And above
Sorry,
table, since I'm lagging, since I'm lagging so much, I'm going to let Peril or Beaks explain that to the other two.
Sounds good.
I guess my question was, when we just went over our realm names, did we discuss that with each other? Is that something that we said, I got this vision, or I got this, or is it just some personal thing?
This was a personal thing that you connected to the realm. If anybody wants to bring it up, it's your choice.
No, I was just curious because you mentioned something for Nicarlis that reminded me of something else, like a place that we'd been, but I don't know if it was the same place. But since we don't know, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay.
Peril, I know you put the home base location in the brooch as the Silverhammer, and then I know you have a connection to the Crystal Orchard in the floating city, Gale Crystallis.
Yep.
Those are the two that I can remember. Was there another one that you guys have set?
Not that I recall. Again, I don't have my notes with my current setup. Oriana's nodding her head like maybe I did have another one, but I think it's only the two. Go ahead.
Okay. I thought maybe that she set one like where the pass is, where we cut through the mountains.
I think you did.
I thought she put one somewhere on either side of the pass.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I think
that we could get
I believe you because I don't
to the mountains.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say I thought it was
get
the
back
Shimmering
over
Pass.
here.
Yeah.
Okay. I apologize. I just, without my notes, it's harder for me.
So I think that leaves you two more locations you can set, or was there three? I don't remember if it was 5 or 4.
Great question. I'll look and see if I have it.
Okay, so we wake up the next morning. We have breakfast. Peril and I'm going to just speed that up. That Peril and Oriana kind of bring up this concept of let's get back as fast as we can. And the explanation to Nicarlis and Treon is about Saphandra being lost again, and that you need to get back to this wizard to get information to get to the realm of hell. So they want to basically go back to the west coast of Corva. You guys are in the middle of the continent right now, between the Turgan peaks, and you're in the Ardellan frontier, where the Queen's Lake is. But you want to go back to what would be called Bayport in the Dianoran Republic. The Dianoran Republic is 9 city-states around the Orinth Sea, and it was originally started by 9 pirate captains, and each of them took over a city-state. So Ryle is where you started, but Ryle is the capital, but Bayport is on the actual coast. Ryle is the only one that is not, its capital is not on the water. All the rest of them have their capital on the water. Ryle is inland, where the library is, where that temple is. So it's kind of a different it's one of the unique ones that isn't as focused on the ocean faring as much. So
Okay, so I do have the note, and I do have a. Sorry, I do have 3 other locations in addition to the home spot. Is the answer? So, did you say that our home base, the Silverhammer, is closer to the coast, but the Shimmering Pass would be closer to the destination we're actually trying to go to?
Kitty cat.
No, the Shimmering Pass is real close to where you are now.
Where we are now. Okay.
Yeah. It was part of the Inheritor War, and it was just cut through the mountain like a laser or something very powerful, turned the sides of the mountain to glass. So that's why it's called the Shimmering Pass. And it's not a natural pass through the mountains. It's just this jagged, just cut right through. But that gets you to the middle of the continent if you want to be able to move on to the continent that way. So, yeah.
When we go out west to basically our home base, you saying we need to go to Bayport and then from there to Rael?
Mm-hmm.
Is that north of? Do we have to go north up the coast or south?
East. You go to the western edge of the continent, and you're going to go inland.
Yeah, so you're going from California to Kentucky, or whatever.
Okay, so where we're going is Bayport, and then we have to go east to Rael.
Yeah, basically, it would be like you're in Missouri now. You're going to go to San Francisco, and then go to Sacramento. Like you're just going.
Oh, so it's a small inland jump.
Yeah,
got it.
Yeah. Does that help? I don't know if that helps, but okay. So you guys are having breakfast. Eldrisar is there. If anybody wants to have another conversation, but they are actually wanting to kind of leave soon, so they're not kicking you out, but they would.
I don't have a question for them. I do have a question. So you said when we were talking with the dragon, the only thing Primary Nicarlis knows is that she got this pretty dress. Is the other side driving her to go find more information and more wisdom to find this other half of the true name?
Yeah, I would say you feel this need to search out for additional information. Like you have something you're thinking of, but it keeps slipping your mind, just on the tip of your tongue.
So
Like,
the thought of going to find a wizard who would answer questions and know things is intriguing.
Would be perfect
without really knowing why, but it's just like, okay, that's something. That sounds cool.
Now,
like we could do.
Now, Nicarlis, you got the glamored.
Once she wakes up, she totally starts like shifting it back and forth to see, what. She pulls out a mirror and it's like, can somebody hold this for me? And she kind of like doesn't even ask and props it up like on one of Treon's branches. And...
lit branches. But you do remember that it is studded.
That's not a branch.
Studded leather +1.
Yes.
It's not a branch.
Oh my God.
I don't have branches.
Hair, branches, whatever. So Eldrisar sees you all off, but I'm assuming basically you all stand around Peril and you activate the brooch and you go back to Bayport.
Yes, and I can use that once per long rest. So
yes. Okay.
So we're going back to the original town.
Yeah.
Well,
yes.
I don't know about the original town, but yeah, that's where we're going.
Yeah.
Right?
You don't.
Okay.
And you guys still have the casket for Grim, right? Or did you hand that off? No, you handed that off, didn't you?
Yes.
Yes.
We still have the casket.
Okay.
Wait,
No, we have the
it?
casket.
Oh, is it in
We
a bag
have
of
the
holding?
casket. Yes, we do.
Yes. Is it just? It was
Yes.
designed to fit within.
Peril,
Like a tote.
Peril has it in her bag of holding.
That's a
So-
go-to Chipotle casket.
I imagine that Rael will have. A cleric or somebody of Nimue that I can talk to and see what is appropriate for laying him to rest.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay. So you guys all do that. You guys gather together. The world tends to just shrink in your eyes. You feel this immense pressure for a second, and then pop. And the first thing you smell is ocean water, and you hear the lapping of waves, and the light kind of comes back into your eyes, and you see you are standing on the docks of Bayport, down the street from the Silver Hammer. But immediately, there is activity around you when there was nothing just a moment ago. And like somebody dodges a wagon around you and they curse at you like, "Arr, get out of the damn road."
Peril would be watching Treyon because she'd want to see his reaction to Coast.
Oh, I haven't been to the coast. No, wait, weren't we at that? Weren't we at
You had a
that
lake.
keep? Yeah, but weren't we at that keep on the ocean at one point where the waves
It was
were
looking out the
crashing?
window. It was looking to a window to that.
Oh, but I'm okay, so I'm outside. Yeah, that's interesting. It's large body of water, or as they would say in Aiel.
Immediately, lots of noise, lots of people. You hear somebody selling fish just down the dock a little bit. A kid runs by and bumps into Oriana as they go by.
Ooh.
Check your pocket
sorry.
bacon.
By the way, just so everybody knows, I have hidden pockets, and part of my money is in my outer pocket, my outer pouch.
Nice.
Yep. Check your.
So
check your
yes, I
pocket
will be
bacon.
aware because I am. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to check because I am a merchant's daughter, and I know. So, is my pouch still there?
Is my pouch still there?
Yeah, it's still there.
Are the coins inside still there?
Okay. Anything? Yeah.
And as far as you can tell, yeah, everything's still there.
Anything I noticed taken?
Give me a perception if you want to. Actually, no, this is investigation. Give me investigation, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Uh-oh, that's never a good sign.
Let me go find my deck of many things.
Yeah.
that I have hidden in the corner. Oh, what's this? I found a
Oh,
hand.
no.
No.
Okay, so
Don't forget you have inspiration, right? Don't we all have inspiration?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
Are we going to need that?
yeah, I think I got an extra inspiration. Yeah.
This is what happens when the party doesn't trust the DM.
Yeah.
As far as they can throw 'em.
I wasn't being a smart aleck. I thought Ildrisar gave us inspiration.
I thought
heroic
so too.
inspiration.
If we do, I don't have it checked on my thingy. Oh, maybe I do. I don't know.
Oh, he went to get dice.
Wait, what did he say? What did he say it was? Did he say it was perception?
No, investigation.
Did he say it was perception?
No,
Or what?
investigation.
Investigation. Oh, that's only a 5.
Seems like everything's there. Yeah, you should be good.
Seems
okay.
like
I'm good.
everything
Good to go.
Terrible.
Her holy symbol's
Meanwhile-
missing. She has no idea.
Meanwhile, Peril, who is definitely used to Bayport, anybody who's actually looking will notice that she's really shoving something far under a pauldron on one side. Can't quite see it. It just looks like a little bit of fabric, but you can see her tucking it further up.
Carlos is completely distracted by any stores we walk by and is basically like window shopping, going, "Whoa, look how pretty that! Oh my gosh, that would look so great! Oh my gosh, Bea, come look at this! This is totally your color!" And like on and on and on. She finds there's just something for everybody in every single window, and might be lagging behind the group, and then we'll like basically prance up to you guys. Did you see that?
Beaks is going to be a little overwhelmed with Nicarlis's energy.
Nicarlis?
And she's going to be kind of standing back from everybody, kind of more into the rogue mentality.
And
that you
Nicarlis,
see
did you
come
ever tell
out.
us what your dress looks like now?
She's changed now that we're in a city. She's changed. She's looked around and observed what the local style is and has changed it to that, but in a flowing royal purple and gold color, with a corset that's popping her boobs up into her face.
So it would be more of a sailor kind of look right now because you are on the docks. You're not really allowed to run a lot of
Oh,
things.
then she's definitely wearing pantaloons with like the corset and the little flap that goes over. I'm guessing a hat wouldn't. Yeah, hat would not.
Yeah, well, I don't care. That's fine. It's just
hat kind of kitty corner between her horns.
You do get distracted by somebody. There's somebody pulling off a crate of material. It looks like it's fine silks, and somebody's negotiating back and forth as they're going to pull some out. So that's probably what draws your attention. And they're kind of giving you a weird look because they're negotiating to their agent that like as they're bringing it in, like these are they're unloading it to go to the store, and you're like, oh my god. Okay, so the Silverhammer, you guys that have been to Bayport, it is just up the road from the dock. This is exactly where you've been several times before. The Silverhammer was known for Eric Silverhammer, who was the captain of the company. He was a mercenary company called the Company, wait a second, what was it called, Peril? I don't remember. Suddenly, it was the company.
I don't know. I'm gonna try to open my notes.
I believe it was the Company.
I believe it was called the Company.
Yes. And he retired from his adventuring days and bought a bar and put his silver hammer above the bar, and it is called the Hammer's Rest. But that was an example of a realm's name, is that Eric became known as the Silver Hammer because of his magical weapon that he used in all of his adventures. And Yosef and Talia, Yosef is Eric's son, and Talia is his half-elf wife. They run the Hammer's Rest in Bayport. And several of you are known to them, but not the two new people. So how do you want to handle this?
Peril will seem the most at ease that she ever does, and she will walk in like she lives there and immediately look for either Yosef or Talia or their children.
Okay. Tavern.
Yes.
And the Winespring would already know this. I'm just seeing what. Okay. Tavern, you notice as you're walking up, you're kind of looking around, glancing at things. The street right in front of the place you're going, like they pointed out, and
the
you're all
Silver
walking
Hammer or
towards
whatever.
The Hammer's Rest.
Hammer's Rest. Sorry.
Hammer's Rest. There's just this big, like just giant sledge or a great hammer, kind of swinging. There's like a representation of it swinging, hanging above. You notice as you're walking up that Peril makes eye contact with like 2 or 3 people on that road that are just kind of just neutrally just standing in the street.
Yeah.
And they nod to her and they move on. And one of them, the last one, goes directly into the bar as you're approaching. But you notice that they make eye contact with Peril.
Okay.
And you guys go in.
I would just like to point of order. It's Hammer's Rally, not Hammer's Rest. I found my notes.
I had it as Hammer's Rally, but I thought I had it wrong. So
yeah. Sorry to correct you. It's just been a minute since we pulled out the lore.
Hammer's Rally. Thank you. So Talia is behind the bar. It's a standard bar.
Only like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Talia is in the back. She's got a streak of white through her brown hair, and just a kind of standard looking, not beautiful, not just a little bit above normal looking. Kind of got that exotic look of a half elf. And then you see Yosef come from the back carrying a crate with some stuff in it, and sits down behind the bar. Looks up and goes, "Peril, hey, you're back."
Hi, good to
And
see
Talia comes
you.
around
And
and
you will
hugs.
see her unreservedly give Talia a hug. You've never seen Peril initiate physical contact with anyone. She will give Talia a big, genuine hug. And then you'll see her kind of put heads together with Yosef to see what's been going on in their world.
Quick question.
Yeah.
I'm moving my thing. they haven't been back here, right?
No.
So nobody here knows about Grim or Safandria.
Nope.
Okay.
No.
Well, they know who they are. They just don't know what happened. All right, got it.
Treon, you notice as this all starts to happen, that Yosef was not surprised Peril walked through the door.
Okay.
He was just acting like he was surprised.
Carlos is gonna look at Oriana and Beaks and Treon and be like, "Is that normal? Because that's not how she normally is."
Who do you say that to?
The three of you, because I just assume you guys are all
normal
besties.
here.
It's only normal.
I have never known this group to be normal, so I don't know.
Carol's hugging people.
That is odd.
Okay, glad I'm not the only one.
Oh, that
even for
yes.
this
No,
group.
that's yeah. Yeah.
At some point,
Now, at one point, I did send a message back to Yosef and ask him how things were here at the Hammer's Rest, because we got some sort of vision or message. Peril, do you remember that? What was that about?
Yes. Yep, I had a bad dream and I wanted to check in and make sure they were okay. But at that point, I did not tell them about Grim and Safandria. And so as I'm seeing them, I realize that we have some hard news. And so I would definitely say to Yosef and Talia, we have some toasting to do for a fallen comrade, and we have work to do to find another to bring back our friend. I'll fill you in.
So just as a kind of a walk back to that dream, the demon that has been torturing you mentally with this information, the first thing you saw was that one of the people on the wall was Eric, with his long hair kind of hanging there, and Grim, and who was the third? Oh, it was the wizard that was there. So those are the three that you keep seeing on the wall: is Grim, Eric, and the wizard that went through. That was holding the time stop.
Yeah.
So that was why you probably had that conversation back was that. So
yeah.
But Eric's dead. Eric has been dead for 2 years.
Right.
Would I have any reason to know Eric?
Give me a history check.
Did he have a realm name?
Silverhammer.
There you go. So his renown might be in your data banks.
But I'm not necessarily from here. 16.
So you did hear about a mercenary company called The Company, and they did have a leader called the Silverhammer. You don't know much. You just heard people talk about it in the stories. There's been a couple of bards that have a couple of songs. The Ballad of the Silverhammer. You heard it one time and had a nice beat. But the person was wearing a really beautiful dress that night, so you focus more on the dress than on what the. And she just swirled, and it was just beautiful.
Accurate.
But, yeah, she was thinking about somebody, the Silverhammer. Yeah.
Okay.
His name was not Maxwell.
Yes. What was that movie? What was the
Did no one else get that?
Yeah, they got. I think a couple of people got it, but thank you for acknowledging it. You don't know about Maxwell's Silverhammer, Nick Carlos?
Apparently not. On so many levels.
So you guys are back there, and if you start to say that, then he sets that down, goes over and speaks to somebody, one of the people one of the people just sitting at the bar. That person goes outside, and you hear the door close, and it's almost like he's saying, "Okay, we'll have a conversation. This is going to be just us talking." Because Peril, you remember that a lot of the people that are in this bar all the time are former members of the company that now work for Yosef. So,
absolutely.
Hey, above
so
table
I
rope.
would.
Oh, sorry. Never mind. Go ahead, Pearl.
No, go ahead, Treon.
No. Go.
I was just going to say, she would have given like that 2-sentence, but she wouldn't have gone into great detail, but we can fast track through,
Yeah.
he would set it up so that they would have privacy so that they could have a real download and discuss with Yosef, and given all of his resources, see what he had to offer for information.
Sure.
Yeah, I was just
Basically,
going to say.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I wasn't sorry. I was just going to say above board that whenever they do pass on the information, if they don't already know about Grimm, that all of his plans would go into motion with the money and the booze and all of the money going to the school and all of that stuff that he was doing.
Yeah, you're setting that all up with Yosef, I believe. So
yeah, I did. That's why I'm saying once he finds out, that should all go into effect.
Yeah. He'll thank you for reminding me. Yeah, he will start to basically enact your final wishes. Go ahead.
And
we one thing goes back to not at this location, but the other place where physical gig is. You wanted me to personally give something to her there to help in her concoctions. So that's probably the only other thing that isn't going to be taken care of here at this location.
Right.
Correct.
You can, if you bring that up, Yosef.
But you can give it to Yosef, and Yosef can take. Yeah, exactly. Can take care of it.
Yeah. And Peril would say, and after all of that is said and done, we still have this to deal with. And she pulls out his last half cask of really good dark beer that she has been carrying with her. And we will be drinking to Grimm tonight.
So you guys spend as much time as you want there. I'll leave it up to you guys as a group how much you want to. You can rest and recuperate and speak to Grimm and catch everybody up on everything. But they'll basically shut the place down. He'll take that and send a messenger down the trade road to where that town was, down where Fizzle Gigs was. No problem at all. Is there anything you ask of Yosef specifically that he can help with, or is there something you want him to know? It's something that he or Talia can do? Do you have questions about Rael? Anything that's going on? I mean, this is a resource.
Right now, Trion's just taking everything in. He's keeping tabs on people and trying to notice little things.
So in traveling to Rael, how long will it take us to walk there, or would it be better and go? What would be our best route? To rent a wagon and go? What would be the best way for us to get there?
It would probably be 2 days, probably 2 or 3 days walking. You could probably get it done in a day on a wagon. So maybe a little bit over a day. So yeah, it's just up the Capitol Road.
Okay. So if we can locate somebody who is, willing to take that trip out there, and we can just pay them to drive us out there, we can do that. If they can do that tomorrow, we could go ahead and, get there the next, within a day.
Yeah. Yosef has some stuff that needs to go to the Capitol anyways. So he'll just give you a ride. He's having one of his guys go that direction anyways. So you guys can ride in the wagon. So that's not a big deal at all. Do you speak about Peril? Do you talk about his father? Sorry, you were saying something, Oriana? I don't know.
I don't know. She seems kind of frozen on and off.
Okay. I thought she was starting to talk. Peril, do you mention seeing his father in the dream, or worried about his soul, basically?
I would mention seeing him in the dream. I don't think I would say I was worried about his soul, because as Peril, I did not believe that was real. I thought it was a scare tactic.
Okay. Because if you mention that, Talia and Yosef look at each other, and Talia's like, Eric wasn't a believer in Nimue. He wasn't buried in the standard way. His tomb is up in the foothills outside of town.
And I'm assuming Peril would know that because she would have been around for that.
Yeah, you definitely were there for his funeral, and you know where it's at. But what they're saying is he doesn't have the protection of Nimue. So they would be a little concerned, like if there is something there. He didn't believe in going to the after realm. Like Nimue takes the people away. He wanted to stay where he wanted his body to stay here.
Okay. Well, I can tell you that I'm already committed to tracking these fiends and resolving this issue, and that only makes me more committed.
Okay.
I will get to the bottom of this.
Tomb? Do you want to go to the tomb? Do you want to stay here? Is it because you could always it's just outside of town.
I mean, I probably would visit the tomb, and I wouldn't just go without telling everybody, but I would say now I have to check.
Okay. Yosef and Talia definitely will take you back up there. They'll if they want to, you can take some torches up there. It's getting kind of towards dusk, but it wouldn't be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I'll look into that, Oriana. I'll get you a number. But she was asking about supplies and how much for good food, so we'll not enough to worry about. Let's just say it that way. So does everybody else go with you to the tomb, or?
Well, during all this, Nicarlis would have, when Peril first started talking with Talia and Yosef, would have got the feeling like this is kind of private and, something that they need to go through. Also knowing a little bit of the history of Grimm and Saphandria. So she would have just kind of, as they were showing people out the door and closing down, she would have just quietly left and just wandered around the town, gone shopping, kind of annoyed all the vendors, window shopping, not really looking for anything in specific, but just, exploring new territory.
Perfect. It is a port town, so there are shops. It's not like a very ritzy or anything, because it's more about getting stuff to the capital. But there is a lot of in and out, but there are shops and things like that. So if there's anything specific you're looking for, you can look for that. So
nothing specific. Again, she's just kind of exploring. She's never been here before, so kind of getting the lay of the land, seeing what's around.
Okay.
Just kind of giving them time. And when they got into Bayport, it was like mid-morning.
Probably mid-morning. Yep.
So she would probably eat lunch out from, gone to one of the nicer looking restaurants for lunch to get her little vegetarian meal, but then popped back around dinner time to see what was going on with the group.
Sure. Yep. Okay. Beaks, anything you're doing while you're there, or are you doing anything special?
I'm just observing.
Okay. I
will say that Peril would definitely check in with Beaks and be like, I'm gonna go to his tomb. Do you want to come with me, or do you want to stay?
Oh, I would go, but I would probably not walk with you. I would hang back and arrive separately.
And again, Peril would give Beaks the room to do it however she chooses, but she would not just walk away from Beaks without checking.
Sure.
Yep.
Go ahead. Yep.
Okay. And I think being conscious of the fact that we do have two people who in our party who are not privy to all of this, I would hang back with Treon. And so I will also be here when Nicarlis returns. and I'd like to have a moment with Treyon.
Go
That's
right
okay.
ahead.
Hello.
Okay. All right. So when Peril and Beaks go off, I'd like to sit down with you and say, we haven't had a chance to just sit down and talk, just the two of us. And I want to tell you that when I first met you, I did not understand you at all. And I misinterpreted you. The way I navigate the world is just sort of by feelings and just sort of, and I think all of my reactions to you at the very beginning were wrong because I didn't understand you. And I want you to know that I would like to get to know you better and be your friend. And so, and she begins to pull something out of a pouch.
Pocket bacon?
When I was in the Verdancy, it is not. When I was in the Verdancy, before I left, I asked the mistress of the tower for a piece of wood from the Verdancy. And I found this beautiful piece of cedar. They were burning various bits of extra wood, fallen wood at the fire that night. And I found this beautiful, lustrous piece of cedar. And I come from a family of furniture makers. And so I wanted to make you something to remind you of home. And so I carved for you one of the mushroom folk. There was a druid, and I was so sad that night. We had lost our friend, and someone told a funny story, and she had the most beautiful laugh and smile that I couldn't help but be drawn to that and be cheered. And so if that could cheer me up, then I thought it would be something good for you. So I present to you, and it's something about the size of my hand, and it's rubbed with some beeswax, so it's nice and lustrous, and it brings out all of the wood grain. And so, oh shoot, I had her name written down. I'll find the name of this druid for you. But since you're a druid and it's someone from the Verdancy, I thought that this would be something to remind you of home. It's a piece of home.
Thank you. That is, and I'll say I don't know.
This is a token of my friendship.
And I will say the druid's name because clearly I would recognize who it is that she depicted in the wood. I will thank you. This does mean a lot. I don't know anyone else out here. I don't understand the rules of what you term as friendship, but I get the gist of it. Do I still have that seed?
In amber, yes.
The one that was given to me by my mother
to create a new entrance to the.
You're right, and I kept it inside of me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will take this little mushroom carving, and I will figure out a way to implement it into my actual bark so that it looks like there's a mushroom growing out of me. That way I can carry it with me.
I would love that.
I like that.
So thank you. Even though you all are still
And I think if you were to actually concentrate on it and feel it, you might feel a sort of magical resonance with it because you have the same magic as that place in you.
I remember the tree that this was carved from, so I will carry that with me.
Good.
Also, real quick, Daniel, I do have that random guest feature from my hermit background.
Yes.
And if a random critter decided to alight in my branches, in my hair or wherever, it would be really cool if it was a raven. I'm just gonna put that out there. It doesn't have to be, but it would be cool.
We can make that happen, sure.
Because I would like to train me a raven.
Well, how about this? As soon as I stop moving screens around here, I keep picking the wrong screen here. Let's try something else here. Okay, yeah, that's what I want. Give me an animal handling.
Oh, animal handling. Ooh, I got pluses on that.
Yeah, and I'll give you advantage because you do have this feature where
I got an 11.
Roll with advantage.
Oh, with advantage?
Yeah.
That would make it a 16.
Yeah. As you are walking throughout the day, because I'm assuming at some
I have to
point
soak in some sunlight. I do have photosynthesis happening.
Yeah, you just kind of get some seeds, buy a couple of bird seeds, just a packet of it from a vendor on the street, and you just start kind of putting it on your shoulder, and like the general ways to be calm and you stay still.
Yeah.
Eventually, a bird just kind of comes. Yeah, it's what you're good at. Bird comes down and it just eats that right off of you, and it's kind of surprised when you move, but generally you kind of work it out and you give off good vibes, and it.
Tis a raven.
Yes.
Yes.
You rolled a 16. I'll give it to you.
Yes.
Nicarlis, as you're walking around Bayport, you suddenly get into a street festival. And,
I almost thought you were going to say fight for a second, and I was like, oh no.
Like it turns that street festival, street fight, it happens.
It's all the same.
Festival, so much fun.
You are just kind of pulled in. There's people just street vendors. There's lots of like things on a stick and treats and different things, and so you can spend 2 or 3 silver for this, 5 silver for this. It's just a lot. The kids are running around with streamers and things, and there's kind of on the corner. There's a tavern that also has like a cafe section to it with outdoor seating, and there is a bard who is singing and playing some music out there, and he's got kind of a lute, and you just notice that his cape is just mesmerizing, and you cannot take your eyes off of it. You're like, is that blue or is it purple? Wait a second, or is it black? Like depending on how he moves, the kind of goes to the spectrum of pearlescence of between blue and purple, and he's just going through the crowd, and he turns around, and this is probably the most beautiful man you've ever seen.
Okay.
And his shirt has the deepest V that you have ever seen, and it comes down to like abs that go on for days.
Matt caught that
and
level.
He is like that low, and he's almost too beautiful, but it's tough to not look at. So it's just one of these things that you just see him, and he sees that you are looking at him, and he kind of starts heading your way.
Detect magic to see if it's if he's got a illusion on, or if he really is.
Sure. Are you being obvious with the detect magic, or is it? Are you casting the? Do you want to try to do it like with like a sleight of hand to try to be?
Yeah. I'll try to maybe not be quite as obvious, just in case. So this is a sleight of hand, or can I do sleight of hand?
Yep.
Because that's wonderful, because my sleight of hand bonus is plus 12. Which is amazing because I got a nat 1. So I got a 13.
You have a 13 with a
nat 1, she gets a 13. That's ridiculous.
Wow.
My sleight of hand is off the chart.
Okay. Natural 20s on skill checks are not automatically successes. Ones are not automatic fails. So I will do this. He turns and kind of catches that you're looking at him, and he starts walking over, and you do your motion, and he winks at you like he catches at what you did, and he flourishes.
I totally wink right back because I know I got flustered. And it's just like, whatever. Just
so he does this spin, and as he spins, when he comes back around, his loot is gone. and he's walking over to you with just open hands.
I'll just start.
Where did the loot go?
Brava, sir. Brava.
Super sus.
And the music is still going. It's like he's still
But
playing.
I'm only going to speak in Sylvan to him.
Okay. He asks you in Sylvan, may I have this dance? And it's the music that he's playing, but he's not playing it anymore.
I will curtsy and go dance.
We've lost her.
And so you dance, and give me a perception.
This answers the age-old question of how Carlos gets kidnapped.
It's only kidnapped if she fights it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm like, if there's consent, it's nearly not.
It's not.
This is 23 perception.
23. You dance, and the music changes, and you keep dancing, and the music changes, and he's dancing you through the crowd, but it's almost like nobody else notices you two are dancing. It's like he'll just spin you around somebody, and they're just walking on like normal.
So with
And
my
it's just
detective
like
magic, did I detect anything? Like, is he?
Oh yes, he is glowing. Every inch of him is magic.
Okay.
Oh,
except for the abs.
Any of it
The abs are
illusionary? Is
This
any
could
of it
end in a good night.
illusionary
You never
magic?
know.
The face is illusionary. I will give you that. The
Okay.
face is illusionary. He is hiding what his true face looks like. But you just dance, and you're dancing, and it's just beautiful music, and like nobody is getting in the way, and he's just very graceful. And you suddenly realize it's been a little bit of time, and the sun is darker. Like the sun has moved by the time you start to notice. And you glance up at the sun, you glance back, and for the split second when you look him in the eye, his eyelids, his pupils are vertical, like cats.
Be a kobold, be a kobold, be a kobold, or whatever. Be something nasty. Be something nasty.
And he blinks, and it's gone. But it's just for a moment they were just slit verticals, like almost feline or something like that.
The Carlos is getting catfished. This is awesome.
You dance for a little bit longer. Do you say anything? Do you stop the dance? Do you just let it happen? Or
I let the dance happen. I'll compliment him on, and again in Sylvan, on his very light, nimble feet, and ask where he learned to dance.
he speaks about, well, he thanks you for that and respects and then compliments your dance. He goes, he learned in the court of summer and in fall, which you know is a fae.
Yes.
It's the two courts, or yeah. So, and he says, "But my time is fleeting. Even though this has been wonderful." He kisses your hand, and just turns around and disappears into the crowd. But you feel something in your hand that like he put something in your hand when you kissed when it was kissed.
What did he put in my hand?
You see a 6-sided dice. Just a standard cube, 6-sided dice. But what's weird is when you turn it, there's 9 sides to it, but you can't figure out how there's 9 sides to a 6-sided dice.
Can I do detect magic on it again? On the dice?
Yeah.
It's
magic.
Okay, it's magic. Go figure.
So you're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 1. But you're looking at it and it's like it's 6. There's 6 sides to this. And you keep counting and there's 9 sides to this. And then suddenly the crowd comes back in and the noise and the heat. It was almost like almost like a sweet summer night. It was just the heat of the bay was not on you. And then suddenly the heat and the noise and the sound all comes back.
This is not
She's
good.
going to turn part of her glamored armor into a fan and just kind of and start slowly as she dances to the music in her head that he was playing for her.
If you concentrate on it, you can still hear the sound. It's just down the street. Yeah.
So she slowly dances back to
So it gets to be about dusk. It gets to be about dusk, and Nicarlis comes walking back into the Hammers rally, and she has a sweet smile on her face and looks slightly distracted. Oriana, you've come back from buying supplies. for the road. What would you guys like to do now at dusk?
Did Peril and Beats already go to the thing? I thought they were heading to the tomb.
Yeah, I think they were going to head about dusk.
Oh, they were leaving in the morning.
Yeah.
Or at night. Sorry.
Yeah.
At night.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Beaks,
am
you
just
noticed
wandering. That's
Right.
it.
You're just wandering. Well, yeah, you could just wander around. That's fine.
Yeah.
But you all kind of find yourself back at dusk, kind
Mhm.
of like just wanting to get that done. Beaks, you notice Nakarlis has the strangest smile on her face. You've seen smiles on her face, but there is something different about her.
I noticed.
Okay, I'm just giving you the chance if you want to talk. Okay. Dusk comes. Do you go up to the tomb? Do you not go to the tomb? Do you? What would you like to do?
We're going to the tomb, I believe.
I'm-
at dusk.
Yes, definitely going to the tomb.
Well, is this place where we're staying for the evening, or are we staying somewhere else?
We're
staying here. For
I
the evening.
assumed we were staying here for the evening.
Because Nicarlis is still going to give you guys this space because she assumes that you're doing
Right.
something very private and personal.
I forgot to mention to Carlos when he complimented when the entity complimented you on your dance and was talking to you, he called you Iceheart.
Oh.
Oh no, this is crazy. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
So I have a question.
Go ahead.
Did have Yosef and Talia they haven't said anything about our realm names? They haven't noticed anything? They haven't said anything?
Nothing so far. It takes a little
Nope.
while
Okay.
for it to set in. Like you guys just that morning kind of accepted it. So
okay.
Plus, we teleported there, so
So they
it hasn't caught up.
yeah, it's true.
Yep. Yeah, and I would like to. Is there anywhere here where I could get a map of the realm?
Yes.
Or at least
Yes.
okay. Then that is one thing that Oriana would like to have in case anybody would like to know. One of her symbols that she has and carries around is a compass. That is one of the symbols of her god, and because she's the goddess of travelers, and so she's kind of getting more and more interested in that aspect the more they travel, and so she would like to have a map of the realm.
While you are out getting supplies, there is a cartography store or like a shop, and it's run by a halfling because the halflings were created by Rhea. And there is a five silver version or a 1 gold version. The 1 gold is a little bit better quality, but he recognizes you right away and says, sister, I'm honored that you are honoring my establishment. Obviously, I'll give you a discount. He gives it to you for 8 silver instead of the full gold, if that's what you want.
I will give him the gold.
Okay.
Yes, I will give him the gold because I really appreciate his excellent work and I think he deserves a tip. And I'm doing well in my traveling. And so I am bringing that back to those who aren't traveling but are helping travelers.
He takes the 2. So basically, he puts the gold in the.
Does he have a name? Can I just?
We'll say Gerund. And he wears a symbol of Rhea on his. Yeah, he wears a symbol. He puts the gold in, and he takes 2 silver out, and he goes over, and you see in the corner, in front of the window, not in the corner, but in front of the window where it gets enough light. There's a shrine to Rhea, and he puts the 2 silver on the shrine to Rhea.
I like this.
would ask Carlos, do you have religion as a trained skill?
No. Like, you mean a proficiency?
Yeah, are you proficient in it?
I'm halfway proficient.
Okay. You're halfway proficient?
Yeah, I've got like that's a Satyr thing, is like you get a +2, like, or a partial proficiency for, it's kind of like humans. So I'm not proficient. So
okay. You do notice that the numbers, the way the numbers are written on the dice, are in Sylvan.
Are in Sylvan, okay.
Yes. Okay. Cool. So you guys are back at dusk. Everybody has gone out and done their wandering. She had her dance with the fancy man.
The devil.
Well, you never know.
He gave me a present.
I don't like that. I don't like when he says that.
He gave me a present.
Does Nicarlis tell us about the dance?
Not unless you guys ask.
Well, Peril, you don't notice because you're not very good at insight. But
I'm not.
Well, also when she comes back, she does realize what she's, even though she like acts fairly obtuse, like she does realize when she comes back that you guys are going through something. So she's not about to be like, oh my gosh, you guys, I met this dude.
He was to die for.
So she when you don't, you're not watching her all the time, but she kind of comes back and she's humming a tune, and when she doesn't realize she's doing it, she's kind of twirling in a slow dance to the tune that she's humming.
Sounds accurate.
So if Oriana is there, she will notice that she is very happy and just carefree and isn't very happy about something.
Somebody has been bewitched.
So I would take a moment now that we're back from our errands to stand near Nicarlis, and I would just start humming the tune back as my way of letting her know that I noticed something was going on if she wanted to share.
Yeah, Nicarlis will probably like lean against you and like sway a little bit. But
I love it so much.
But yeah, Nicarlis will basically just eat the vegetarian version of all the same food that everybody else is eating, and get a bottle of wine or two and head up to her room for the evening just to be out of everybody's hair.
Okay.
And I think that Oriana would have asked before going out to get some foodstuffs, if there are any particular like breads, fruits, vegetables, anything that we could maybe get for you for being on the road. Nicarlis.
You would know each other long enough. You've traveled long enough and eaten enough, had enough long rests. You kind of generally know what everybody uses and prefers. So, okay, so we can head out the next morning if we want to do that, or if we want to do the tomb is on the way, so they can stop on the way outside of town and do that in the morning. It's not a problem. So we'll do another long rest and we'll get up in the morning, and Yosef will get on a horse and we'll lead a horse over to the wagon. It's loaded with some boxes, but there's still enough room for everybody to sit in the back. And you guys take the Capitol Road out of town, and just about maybe 10 minutes outside of town, you get into the foothills and you go off the path a little bit. And there is a tomb, just a simple headstone underneath a willow tree. And it just has Eric, the Silverhammer, just kind of on it, friend, leader, captain, father. And, that's kind of what all it says on there. And that's just where the burial was. So
as we approach, Peril would look to see, as we're coming up to it, does it look any different from the last time she visited?
Give me a perception.
Sure. Not very good. A 12.
Everything looks about the same. No big deal. Obviously it's aged a little bit since you were there. It depends on how often you've come back, but I'm sure you come back every once in a while. You come and talk to him. He was a mentor to you. You all kind of step back a little bit. The Carlos, you're humming along and you're still humming that same song and still dancing to it. Everyone's like, if you just try hard enough, you still hear that music on the wait, the music stopped.
And just all of a sudden.
Yeah, it just stopped as you started walking up towards this grave, and you guys all noticed that Carlos's eyes turn and look like they're made of ice.
Oh shit! Okay.
The other side of you comes out and says, "There's something about this grave that seems familiar."
Let's go back to let's rewind where you said the other side of you.
That's for me.
Okay.
That's for me.
Okay.
So Nicarlis is casual, like she's just kind of swaying as she's. Are we in the wagon or are we walking?
You're walking. You left the wagon and we're walking to the foothills, and you're under a willow tree as you're approaching a willow tree, and the music, you're just enjoying it. Still can still hear it, and then just instantly stopped, and your much more focused side comes up.
So she goes from swaying to this very almost aggressive walk to the tomb and starts just kind of looking at the tomb and then going around it to try to figure out why this is familiar to her.
Okay.
And it like
Peril would be triggered by the fast change in her and would immediately be not necessarily rigid, but you could see like Peril is now standing in kind of an on guard way because you're acting so different. And this is now multiple times we've seen you change lightning quick.
Give me an insight, Peril.
Not
Carlos, give me. Do you have Arcana?
I do.
Give me an Arcana with advantage.
Ooh.
I got 18 on my insight.
She is very focused. She does not seem aggressive or violent, but she seems very focused and is very focused on the grave.
That advantage,
sure.
Very useful. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, so she would not pull a weapon, but it would not change the fact that she is now on alert.
So thank you for the advantage, because otherwise it would have been +4, but I got a 23.
23. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You walk up, and as you're approaching, there is your okay. I wish I could just whisper to you on this, but I'm gonna have to give up your pact. That you has a feeling to it, like there is a string connecting your soul to something else.
Okay.
And you feel that connection at all times. There is something similar in the energy around this grave.
In a
and as
positive way or a negative way?
Just similar.
Okay.
So there's a resonance almost to it. Like your magic has a resonance to it. This has a similar, not the same, but it's similar. And as you get closer, glowing on the tombstone, you have that to where you can read all writing, right?
Yep.
You see in unseen writing, like nobody else can see this. You can tell because you know how Arcana works. You see in, I'm trying to think what language. It's in a language that you don't know, but you can read it anyways. This soul belongs to Ionos.
This Ionos.
Ionos.
Okay. And she'll stop and look at it and nod. Is there anything else around the tomb that interests her?
In a circle about the size of a man, like that would fit a man, there's that same writing on the ground, almost like it's warded. And it just repeats in very magical, arcane way. This soul belongs to Ionos. This soul
So it's like reiterated.
Yes. But nobody else, it looks like nobody else can see this. And then you snap back and it's gone. and you start to hear that music just kind of flowing on the wind.
Back to reality. Oops, there goes gravity.
Does she give other side any does she give that name Ionis to the other side?
You can choose what you want to give.
Yes, she does want to give the name so that she can find answers. Does she know the name?
Give me an Arcana.
Oh man, that's not included in the Arcana.
No, that was just to see the writing.
15.
15. It seems from another plane. It doesn't seem like it'd be from this plane. That's all you can pick up is it's outer planar.
Oh, I want to test something out so bad, but I don't know any of this.
Yeah, so she would give the other side just the name as a who's this? But not as a say it here type thing.
Right. So her eyes pop back to normal. The ice fades away very quickly. Her body language goes back to just dancing, and she smiles again. And you just
And actually, what she's going to do is, knowing that this is a tomb that they want to go to, she's going to go and find some flowers that are close by, kneel down, take out her amulet, take it off, put it down, and start singing a different song to the amulet. So kind of giving everybody their time to do what they got to do at the tomb, but she's going off and kind of taking some
I'm sorry. I think Peril would be a little territorial and would say, "What just happened?"
As
like
that
Peril
happens,
would be more intense with you right now, Carlos, right now than she's ever been. Like she is looking at you, and everything in her body language says she is on guard, and she is looking into your soul, saying, "What just happened to Carlos?"
And Carlos, as this happens, you keep it's like a song, like an earworm, Ionos. Like you can't get it out of your head.
I don't know. What do you mean? What do you mean? What just happened? I just came over to the tomb. Is this a tomb of Ionis or somebody?
Do I recognize the name Ionis?
Are you don't have Arcana, do you? I don't think you're proficient in Arcana.
I don't. I didn't know if it was something I heard when I was pulled under.
Nope. Ionos. Nope.
Okay.
Nope. I have religion, but not Arcana.
So
and I
Pearl
have
would
been
struggle 'cause she
clocking
doesn't
differences. Yeah,
Sorry.
I've been clocking differences in the Carlos as well. I mentioned that before. Sorry for jumping on your audio. It's different. It's really hard with this lag. With my 20 passive perception, I'm guessing that I would have noticed this difference too, because I've started clocking it as well. So as soon as Peril said something, I would have been tuned in. Now, do I recognize Ionis in any way? Either.
Do you have Arcana? Yeah, I think you only have religion.
I only have religion.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Okay.
So quick
Then
question.
I would try to articulate to her, like, I don't know, but you go from humming and singing and looking at trees to laser focused, and then you go back to humming, and now you're putting stuff on graves. Where did you go? Like, what is up with you?
What are you
And your
talking
eyes turn to
about?
ice.
Oh, they do? Okay, sweet.
No, they did. I don't think they changed back. Yeah.
Are you
No.
DM, are you saying they
What-
do turn to ice now?
No. They just like
Okay.
I'm reminding Peril that your eyes were like they were made of ice.
And your eyes changed.
What did you drink this morning? I mean, I know you
Nice.
guys were drinking that keg of whatever it was last night, and I just left you to it. But I mean, I've just been myself this whole time.
It's not me. It's
This
you.
is not me. This is not me. This is you. What are you?
I'm a Carlos. I'm a satyr. I mean, I know you're a barbarian, and I know you're not the
Insight check.
But
She said, "I know you're a barbarian."
Nakarlis. So she's Peril. Go ahead and roll insight. Nakarlis. I don't remember how we worked it out. Does the non-focus side know about the focus side?
The non-focus side does not know.
Okay, so
he's only given clues via the other side's choice.
Gotcha.
So I rolled a 21 on my insight. I used my inspiration for advantage.
But the dragon said some very interesting things about the other side.
Yeah.
To the other side, yes.
Yes. Right
At
now,
this
Carlos
point-
seems confused.
At this point, I think the other side would reassert itself.
Okay.
So you would see that whole, like, just the posture, like, goes from this flowing to this, like, very rigid. Her head comes forward and she starts glaring at you. Be like, don't ask her questions that she does not need to know about.
Then you can answer instead. Who are you and what is going on here?
I am Nakarlis. But there are forces that you don't understand and don't need to know about. Just know that she is on a grave mission and we need to accomplish it.
And what is your goal with us? If you intend any harm to anyone in this troop, I don't care about your mission.
Our goal is to find a cure.
For what?
That is not something you need to know about. It is not of this realm. And then she
As you can
snaps
see.
back. And then she snaps back.
This is like having Raceland and Karamon in the same body and not talking to each other. I freaking love it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, seriously, like, can whatever she's smoking, can I have some of that? Because, you know,
So
like, I
I
haven't
will-
had from any good Two Rivers to back since I've been over here away from the Feywild.
So I will relax like half a millisecond. Like and I'll look at Oriana and I'll look at Beaks and Treyon. Like I'll look at everybody and I'm like, okay, so I don't think she understands what's happening.
Can
I don't think she.
Sorry, go ahead. I was going to say, can I use medicine?
I was gonna.
A medicine check to see if I've seen anything like this before?
Sure, go ahead.
That would be a 26.
We've been waiting for you guys. Like,
Yeah. 26. Nothing natural would strike you like this that you've ever seen medically. Nothing in the books that the Mistress of the Tower would have.
Okay, can I
had access
check
to.
with Arcana?
Sure.
15.
15. There's possession. There's people can take over control of other people's bodies. But most of the time that would be somebody that is acting against their own will. This one looks like it's like they're working together, but they're segmenting or compartmentalizing information. Normally, if it was possession, it would be all the time.
I know, I gotcha. All right. I'll ponder it.
Which you do know that she's from the Feywild, so she is not of this realm. So the Feywild is kind of unknown.
Different.
Yeah. I'm gonna catalog that in my tree rings of memory.
I would look at Beaks and Oriana and Treyon and go, what do you think? She's probably not an immediate threat, but there's something going on here.
I would just point out right back to you that she was being super weird last night singing to
Yep.
herself, and then she disappeared from the group. And, maybe we should ask her what happened.
Okay. Do you want to do that,
Meanwhile, she has
Beaks?
turned around.
That's okay. I also have insight, and I have a new I have a new cantrip called Delve.
Ooh.
I don't think it's anything that is like I can see if there's any injury, diseases, poison, or supernatural damage that may be affecting her currently or within the last 24 hours.
That sounds really cool.
And it's just verbal and semantic. So I just sort of say, and how are you doing today? You seem to be very happy, and touch her on the shoulder.
So wait, say the last part about the supernatural.
I also have high insight and medicine. So
I know. Yeah. I'm keeping track of that.
If there's any supernatural damage that is currently or recently within the last 24 hours affecting you in any way. I don't think it's something medical, but it could be. I don't know. Supernatural, possibly. I have no idea.
So there's no damage per se. There is something supernatural about it.
Okay.
Which I guess.
Emotional.
I would say the same thing.
But it doesn't. But it's not like something that I can heal. It's not something I can heal. It's like something else going on. And I also can I also roll an insight just to be sure if I can pick up anything else.
What's
I'm really interested in what the DM is going to say on this one.
You can roll insight. Go ahead and go ahead and roll insight. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, since I navigate by wisdom a lot. Okay, so that is a 21.
I have another question. Hold on. Treyon, what did you roll on medicine?
26. I did surgery, like open heart surgery.
Yeah,
I was like,
I just pulled a Sigmund Freud.
He's one more hotel stay away from brain surgery. Like he's so close.
Wait.
What did you roll on insight again, Oriana?
21.
21. There is definitely
21.
It's definitely the same person, but different aspects of the same person. Like if someone was angry or if somebody was in a good mood, they can act differently. Or if they're in fight or flight, you might see a different person. There's it's still Nicarlis in both ways, but very different in how they're presenting themselves.
It's like split personality disorder almost.
Okay.
Yeah. But what I was struggling with was even at a 26.
But did I perceive when the
hold on
when the other side was talking?
Yeah, just a second. What I was trying to figure out was 26 was really high, but I'm like, in medieval fantasy,
it's not medical.
I just don't think it's
not a medical.
But you're very certain it is not something physically medical.
No, yeah.
Like, can't give me an herb or take me to a doctor.
Yeah, I'm like, it is a medical thing in its own way, but I'm like, it still wasn't. I just don't see it in a high fantasy setting that they would have understanding of that. So go ahead, Oriana.
So what I was going to say is, in this insight, because I would have exchanged glances with Peril, and part of what I'm trying to perceive with this other persona, do I perceive anything malevolent, negative in this?
No.
Towards us?
No.
Nothing. Okay, that's super important, and that's mostly what I wanted to know. If it wasn't something that I could heal.
Your insight picked up the same thing that Peril did. It much easier because yours is just naturally higher. Is that it was very, very focused, but it wasn't violent. It wasn't aggressive, but it was protective. So
perfect.
So as you guys are all saying this and having this moment, Yosef comes up behind you and goes, What name did you say?
And at this point, Nicarlis has kind of started ignoring the questioning because she's just like, you guys are being so weird. So she goes back to her little flower bed and pulls out her amulet. And she's like, Ionis? Like, is that Ionis's tomb? I didn't ask whose tomb it was because it's, none of my business. And she puts the necklace down in the flowers and is arranging them. And like she kind of picks them from other sides to make it a little bit more, makes like almost a little altar.
Right.
And starts singing the lullaby that she had sung to you guys before to give you inspiration.
He looks at Peril. He goes, "Ionis is the last word that Father said before he died. We didn't know what it was. We've never heard of it, but he just kind of whispered it as his last breath."
Who says that?
Eric.
Joseph.
Oh, he's there with us?
Yeah, he walked up to it's his father's tomb. Yeah, he was.
I
he was
didn't. I had
with
no
him.
clue he was with us for whatever reason. My brain just shut down.
We rode in his cart.
Yeah, he rode a horse beside the cart, and then he's gonna go back to town after you guys stop. He goes, "Yeah, we all wondered what it was, but he whispered it and then died."
Okay. And so am I getting any fiendish from any of my fiendish knowledge? Is any of this putting my hackles on edge?
Go ahead and roll Arcana. I know you're not trained in it, but yeah, you have the fiend stuff.
23.
Damn.
Ionis is not a fiendish word. It is not a fiendish name. It's not built in the same language. It doesn't have the same structure. It is a completely different language than anything demonic or fiendish.
Okay. Well, we're talking about going to a library of Theodoma, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we can find out more about what this is, but I am unsettled, and I tell them that I have a lot of concern now.
Okay.
Nicarlis, we did the language thing or in the name thing, but you understand there's a similarity to your magic there as well. So I don't know if you wanted to.
Wait, which part? The Ionis part?
As you were walking up, you felt a resonance to your magic.
Yes.
To the magic there.
Yeah, this Nicarlis is just going to be listening to what they're saying. And actually, can she do detect magic?
Mm-hmm.
So she does detect magic to see if there's anything.
Nothing that you can see.
Nothing. And then the other thing that she might do, because I don't really think I have anything else that I could do unless she would do an active investigation from her perspective. Nope. And then I don't think I have any spells outside of that that'll help. Come on, scroll, please. Yeah, so the only thing she would do besides that is just like look around thoroughly and.
Oriana asks you why Nicarlis thinks this grave has something to do with Ionis.
Just the word popped into my head, and I don't know. Sometimes things like that just happen. So, I've studied it so much, and I don't know where these things come from. I probably just read it somewhere in the past. You know how those things are.
Okay, so we're going to move along. I think there's been an investigation. We can always bring up more conversation. I mean, we traveled on the road.
If she investigated, she wouldn't see anything.
Nothing.
Yeah, so.
No. Yes. Treon, yeah, everybody at this point, everybody does know about that. So this does prove the fact that Eric probably is not there. It's probably him the creature was torturing you with the image of Eric.
So would I, as Treon, would I be able to deduce that if Peril saw this vision and Eric was there, and now we're having an issue at Eric's his gravesite, I'm trying to think what I would roll to figure out if I can deduce whether we should check Grimm's casket, because she saw
I was just going to
Grimm
say,
tied up too.
Yeah, so Peril in this moment, realizing that if Eric's soul is truly in peril, then potentially Grimm's is as well. And she now feels, monumentally guilty. And what the hell is going on?
There is a temple on the road to Ryle for Nimue that you can take the the coffin there.
I guess once we get there to that point, I think I'm going to insist that we all go in together to show our respects, but I want to see Nick Carlos's reaction when Grimm's casket gets pulled out.
Okay,
that's what I'm going to be looking for.
So we're going to fast forward. We can have conversations if we want, but we're going to fast forward. You're down the road. Yosef goes back to town. You guys are another half day on your way. You come up to a Greek kind of looking temple that you recognize is a temple of Nimue. The gray priests come out and meet you and are very silent, very quiet. And you can explain when you pull out that coffin.
Watching the Carlos.
Do you? Yeah, go ahead. So you're watching when the coffin comes out.
Yeah, I want to see if Nicarlis reacts, because clearly something triggered her at Eric's tomb, gravesite.
Yeah, there's no reaction. You're still just kind of just normal Nicarlis. It's wrapped in axial parts. Yeah. So this is as it leaves the bag of holding, it grows to full size. And this is a clockwork coffin that is fully enclosed. And as you set it on the ground, the clockwork opens, and there's Grimm's body it's like he just died a minute ago. The body is still
Preserved.
They reach down and recognize right away that you say that he is a follower of Nimue. They start to lift him up and carry him into the temple with all honors. And you go with them.
Know us a morning song of the Temple of Nimue.
You probably could give me a performance
check. All right, so she's going to attempt to sing a morning song from Nimue. That is
that in real life if it means anything.
I'm not going to do it in real life. You can literally go. So that's 21.
21. You actually start singing kind of a dirge, but it's almost more like a sea shanty dirge, and it's almost like a weep from an Ethrin kind of, and everybody kind of gets in. It's a very easy song to follow along with, and everybody else kind of falls. Once they catch on to it, they kind of start singing along. It's repetitive. Yeah, and the priests just kind of keep walking, but just follows that grim dirge-like feeling. And you walk up the trail, the twisting trail up to it, and you enter in between two of the columns. And when you come into the columns, the sky changes to a night sky full of stars, and you're looking up into the starry sky above. And there is an opening in the ground where they are going into. They will be taking him down into the necropolis. If you want to say any final words or say any final goodbyes, they do say that they feel the presence of the soul of Grimm. The soul is with Nimue, and the body will be going to the necropolis below. Go ahead, Oriana.
Before the procession, Oriana would have taken out a stole that has like the red and gold of Rhea, and put it around her neck and held her symbol to Rhea and kind of said something quiet to herself. And then she would have taken out of her bag of holding the ashes of Grimm's friends and carried that very solemnly. And once we got to the opening where they're about to take it down, I would say to the priest or the cleric, whoever, that these are the ashes of Nim's companions, and I want them to go with him in death, and hand the container of the ashes that he carried with him in life.
I think we're going to go ahead and speed this along, and we're
Yeah.
going to just move it along. So that goes on. It was well done. We can always have further conversation on that if we want. So you step back out after the ceremony, and you move back onto the road, and we head on our way back to Ryle. Shoot, I feel really bad now. So we get into the city of Ryle. Ryle is the full capital of the city-state, and you see in the center of the town, you see a large pyramid, almost like the Great Pyramids of Egypt. And for anybody that is trained in Arcana or can cast magic, you see floating above it is an eye, is a floating eye, almost like the eye of the Illuminati. It's just floating above it, almost magical.
Floating above
and what? The tip of the pyramid. If you're trained in Arcana or you cast magic, because this is a magical. That goddess is in charge of magic. So it's okay. So we're gonna go right to that. We actually probably could wrap tonight if we want to go to that as we come into town. That might be a good spot, actually.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because we are up to 10:30. That is the 2 hours. So as you're approaching, you see the pyramid in the center of town. The full capital is around it, so we can kind of explore as we play the next time, whatever we want to do there. So, I think we'll go ahead and stop it there for the night. So thanks, everybody. Do we want to do a goodbye?
Yeah. Thanks for joining Will and Jill. Nights you say chill. It's always fun to hang out with you guys. I'm Riffmaster Slaya.
Tavern here. Again, we are at a really cool place. We're about to start a new angle of our adventure, and I'm excited. Super excited.
Jessica Sedai, love playing with you guys. Very excited to be back. Can't wait to see where the next leg takes us. And we love it when you guys tune in and watch with us. So thank you so much.
Dana Lou or Zool. And I hope to see some of you at WatCon or in the virtual chat. Just saying, virtual chat, you can still buy your tickets all the way through the con. So hope to see you there.
DM Daniel.
And I'm Random Noman, DM Daniel. Always have so much fun with you guys. This is a little heavier evening with a lot of stuff kind of closing up some areas, but we have to move forward with a couple of these stories. So we'll move on to the next part of this, and hopefully everybody had fun, because I know I did. So thanks so much, guys.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Bye.